Cardiovascular disease, it's a term we hear all the time, and honestly, it can sound pretty scary. But what if I told you that for this massive global health issue, the story doesn't have to end with a statistic? What if it could be a story of resilience? Let's dive into how you can be the one to write that story. First, let's just get a sense of the scale we're talking about. Every single year, more than 20.5 million people around the world die from cardiovascular diseases. That makes it the #1 killer on the entire planet. It's a truly staggering number, and it touches families and communities just about everywhere. But, and this is the most important part, what if, despite those huge numbers, a massive part of this story is actually within your control? That's what this is all about. We're going to shift the focus from the risk to the resilience, to the power you have to protect your own heart health. All right, so to start, let's make sure we're all on the same page. What are we actually talking about when we say cardiovascular disease? Well, the official definition is actually pretty simple. It isn't just one single disease. Cardiovascular disease, or CVD, is really an umbrella term. It covers a whole group of conditions that affect your heart and your blood vessels, basically your body's entire circulatory system. And what's really fascinating is that at the root of so many of these different diseases, there's often one common culprit: atherosclerosis. The best way to think about it, it's like having clogged plumbing in your body. Over time, this stuff called plaque builds up inside your arteries, making it harder for blood to get through. This one issue is the starting point for so many other problems down the road. So, how does that clogged plumbing actually turn into specific problems? Let's take a look under that big CVD umbrella at some of the major types of heart disease you've probably heard of. Okay, so the main player here, the most common one by far, is coronary artery disease. We call it CAD for short. That's when the arteries that feed the heart muscle itself get clogged. But the list also includes things like stroke, which is all about blood flow to the brain, heart failure, where the heart just can't pump like it should, and arrhythmias, which are basically problems with your heart's rhythm. And this is so important, knowing the warning signs. Now, they can be different for different people, but some of the classic ones are chest pain or feeling of pressure, shortness of breath, and sometimes pain that kind of travels up into your neck, jaw, or back. These are your body's alarm bells telling you to pay attention. So what puts someone at risk in the first place? This next part, this might be the most important piece of our whole conversation because it's all about what you can control and what you can't. When we talk about risk, there are really two sides to the coin. On one side, you've got the stuff you can't do anything about, right? Like your age or your family history. But look at the other side. You've got this long list of things you absolutely can influence: your blood pressure, cholesterol, your diet, how active you are. This right here, this is where your power is. Let's just zoom in on a couple of these. High blood pressure. It's not just a number on a machine. Think of it like a physical force. It puts this constant extra strain on your heart, and over the years, it damages the walls of your arteries, kind of wearing them down and making it easier for that plaque to build up. And the same is true for tobacco. And yes, we are absolutely including vaping in this. The chemicals directly harm the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making them stiff and narrow. And on top of that, it robs your blood of oxygen, which means your heart has to work way harder just to do its job. Okay, we've defined the problem, we've looked at the risks. Now for the best part, the solution. Let's talk about the incredible power of prevention. Just look at this number for a second. 90%. Public health research suggests that up to 90% of cardiovascular diseases might be preventable. That is not a typo. Let that sink in. For the vast majority of us, heart disease isn't some random destiny. It's a matter of choice. So experts think about prevention in 3 different levels. The absolute best place to be is primordial prevention. That's just stopping risk factors like high blood pressure from ever even showing up. Primary is for people who already have some risk factors, and it's all about managing them to prevent a first heart attack or stroke. And secondary, that's for people who've already had an event, and it's focused on stopping it from happening again. So what does this actually look like in real life? Here's your toolkit. It's not about finding one magic pill. It's about a whole collection of smart choices. A healthy diet, getting your body moving, figuring out how to manage stress, ditching tobacco. These are the powerful tools that build that first line of defense. And hey, making these changes doesn't have to be some overwhelming mission. It can start with really simple swaps. Instead of dumping on the salt, try using herbs and spices for flavor. Instead of unhealthy fats, reach for healthy ones from things like avocados or nuts. And maybe the easiest one, just swap out sugary drinks for water. These little things really do add up to a huge impact. And finally, none of this works if you're flying blind. I mean, you can't manage what you don't measure, right? Getting regular checkups is just non-negotiable. Knowing your numbers for blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, that's the data you need to make smart, informed decisions with your doctor. So we'll leave you with this one question. Knowing the risks, but more importantly, knowing the incredible power you hold in your own hands, what's one small, totally manageable change you can make starting today? Because that's where it all begins. That's where resilience starts.